Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Show me. Show me some.
I'm so excited about today's. It's just because I know it's going to help so many people because, increasing your show, that's what today's title is how to increase your show factor. It's crazy, right? Like kind of what we used to do before is that like, I guess pre-COVID is that we would drive to people's homes and it's hard for them to pretend that they're not there when we see two cars in the driveway and we're pulling right up, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's happened though, where I had a lady, whatever, she left a bottle of water, sorry, we're not here. It's like, oh, you couldn't call me. I drove 2.5 hours to go to this stupid appointment, to where it's easy for them now just not to answer the phone, and so I know that you've had 75+% show factor, and I guarantee you if everyone could count on a 75% show factor, that would drastically help their business. So I'm pumped for this one. I know that back when you kind of went out into the field, you were taking 10 leads a week and basically guaranteeing $5,000 in annual premium volume, which is insane, right? Off of 10 leads. So I know that everyone's definitely going to enjoy this one. So let's get into it, pal. How are you today?
It is really good. I'm really good. I actually went out and got a cabana for my backyard, and it's like changed my life. So if you're ever like on the fence about putting a cabana in your backyard, go for it. It really will be like something that you won't regret. You just won't regret it. It's impossible. So anyways, but yeah, if there's one thing that I get asked the most about is how to get the show rate up. And if there's one thing that you can get good at that's going to absolutely change your business and you don't have to work any harder, is getting show rate up. Yeah. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so if you're taking notes, here it is. The goal is at least 75 to 80% show. Okay, that's the target. Okay, if you are new and you can have half of them show, then that's pretty good, but you want to get better. There's a couple different ways I know that people do business these days. Number one, some agents might still go meet with clients in their house. Some people might be doing like a husband, wife on Zoom or spouses on Zoom. Or there's some phone sales where people hop online and basically request information from like TikTok or Facebook or whatever, and you get on the phone with them right away and boom, basically you can do the appointment right there almost. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about just dialing in general in like 2023. Okay. One of the things that's important to keep in mind is that the sale starts on the phone. When someone's show rate is low, their close rate is normally also low. Someone show rate's high, close rate's high, because you've got that control and you've got that posture right from the get-go. When calling on the phone, one of the things that I found, especially with people that aren't ever going to see you, like on Zoom or see you on like in person, is I created like a little, we call it a digital business card. And it's got my picture, it's got my license information, some of the carriers that I work with. And as soon as I start messaging with somebody or calling them, that goes out right away. Because that is something that's going to establish me as a professional apart from anyone else that they might be talking to about insurance. Plus, if they do no show, which hopefully they won't, but if they do, they will remember you. Yeah. Because you sent them like personal information, like to their phone or whatever it is.
Well, I think that also helps with trust, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I promise you, Miranda, like anybody that I have dealings with, like I'm looking them up, right? Mm-hmm. The roofing guy that comes over and like, I'm actually interested in kind of communicating with him. I'm looking the dude up. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm doing as much research as I possibly can. And sometimes it's a little bit harder to go off of a name, but if they have your name, they have your website, they have everything and all of your credentials where they can go and look up your business license, that is going to put their heart and their mind at ease for people that are like me, that are a little hesitant on doing business this way. So I think it's extremely important, right? Because we always talk about like, trust, and understand. Trust is a key component, and that will help build those blocks of trust, that little digital business card. So I love it.
Yeah. So as soon as I start messaging or talking to someone, that goes out, right? Like I book an appointment with someone. Let's say I didn't send it originally because I got someone on the phone really fast. Boom, digital business card. I've made it a policy to never run an appointment with anyone unless they have that. So if you haven't yet done that, you can actually just send them out next time after you call someone, just be like, hey, shoot them your card. Hey, it's Miranda. I just tried calling you. I got great news, or whatever it is that you want to say in your text message. But that would be number one. All right. Don't be secret. But the second thing that's really universal with show rate is not being desperate. Okay. So let's think about dating. If you like were trying to get a date with someone and they were like, well,
are you available Thursday? No. Friday? No. Saturday? No. Sunday? How about Monday? Next week? Tuesday? Right? Like, whoa.
You know what? There's something called hard to get, right? You know, and this is exactly what we want to do to get our show rate up. Because a lot of times when people aren't showing at a high level, it's because we're desperate. Yeah. And it's kind of hard to pretend like you're not desperate. Let's say if you're counting on that next sale to pay your light bill or your mortgage payment or whatever, but you got to fake it till you make it. And there's things that you can do and things that you can say that make you sound very busy and very important. Here's something, John, that you'll never want to do is tell somebody that you're not working a specific day. You could be like, I don't have anything available that day. Okay. Another thing you can do when you're offering times, if they ever ask you for a time, you never have it. Okay. So let's say they say 6 o'clock. You're like, oh man, I'm so busy at that time. I can do 6:45. I don't have anything available at that time, you know? And like, that's really, really cool because imagine this. Hey, do you have anything tomorrow at 2? Yep.
2 o'clock it is. Right. I would even like say struggle to find a time when you're offering, right? And so it's like people say, you go, so hey, do morning, afternoons, or evenings typically work best for you? And they'll say afternoons. It's everyone's picking afternoons. Hold on a second, let me check here. Right? And then that's taken. Oh my gosh, that's taken. Oh, look I do have one there. So almost like you're painting that proverbial picture, right? Is that we're like struggle to find a time has always been really helpful too, I think.
I actually had it was an agent. We read the book How to Be a Badass by Jen Sincero, and he decided to hire Jen as his assistant, and he'd be like, Jen, do we still have the Murphys at 5 o'clock there? You know, and oh no, okay, well that spot just opened up, John, you know, at that time. So, and if once you put them down in a spot, let's say that you've now opened up for them, make them work for it. Like, listen, John, if I put you down for that time, are you positive that that's going to work for you? So many little things that you can do about show rate, but not being desperate. That's basically number one. And that's where it all starts, right?
Yeah, struggle to find a time, not being desperate, and never confirm, like never give them the time that they're asking for, right? And so I think that those are three really kind of cool components there. But I think in addition to that, Miranda, like there's so many like whatever tiny little things that we can do. You organically did it. You went, 6 o'clock doesn't work, but I have a 6:45. Like, here's the thing. We're painting this picture and saying, hey, these appointments are only going to take 15 minutes. So one of the things that I would also do is like, don't put it right at 6 on top of the hour or even on the half hour. Like I would always go quarter hour, and you could even like, I don't know, you could even kind of get weird with it. Like, oh, that's taken, but I have a 6:53 or my 7:07's available. Would the 6:53 work, or would the 7:07 be better? I know that sounds dumb, but you're just painting like this picture. This ain't gonna take that long, which is a higher probability of showing, right?
John, that leads me to remember, this is something that I hear agents struggle with all the time. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Everyone can answer this in their own heads, but how long does the presentation take if they decide not to move forward? On the phone, it could be like under 10 minutes. In person, it could be under what? Same, maybe 50. I don't know. But like, here's the thing. If they decide not to move forward, it's not going to take that long. Or if you decide you don't want to work with them. So don't be afraid to be like, you know, saying that this is only going to take anywhere from 7, 10, whatever it is, 15 minutes, because it could, right? And one of the things, especially on phone calls, I hear agents say, instead of like saying something along the lines of, okay, I'm almost there, just a few more moments or a few more seconds, or, hey, it's only going to take 7 minutes. They'll say, hey, I just have like 10 questions here, or they say something like, yeah, it'll only take about 20-30 minutes for me to go over everything. They are never going to show up because it sounds like a big formal affair. Okay. One of the main things when I'm talking to someone and booking, let's say a lead that just came in online, I'm going to book them and I'm going to be like, hey, John, I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes kind of doing some research and I'll give you a quick call there. A quick 7-minute call to show you your options and close your case.
Yeah.
But if you forget to say a quick 7-minute call, my show rate drops down by like 50% on that.
Yeah.
That one little phrase, quick call, because I don't want to make, in this case, it's a digital lead. He just went on TikTok and I just talked to him and I'm calling him back in like 30 minutes. That is like, I don't want him to feel all stressed out about this.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
But if we're meeting with someone and we're requiring spouses, right? We're requiring you and Jessica to show up on Zoom at a specific time. That's a whole different commitment level, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. And I know, like, I don't want to try to do too much at once here, but I think just another really simple thing, Mer, is to say the time quite a few times like this. All right. So, Mer, okay. So 6:53 is what will work best for you. All right.
Yes.
I'm going to write 6:53 for today down on my calendar. Hey, will you grab a pen and piece of paper really quick and let me know when you're ready? Okay. Yep. And then, perfect. You got that. Can you write down 6:53 p.m.?
Yep.
For tomorrow or whatever, right? For tomorrow, let's just say 6:53 p.m. All right. And then, all right. So I got 6:53 p.m. in my calendar. Do you have 6:53 p.m. in your calendar for tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cool. You got it written down. And will your spouse be able to see that we're meeting tomorrow at 6:53 as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So I got us down then 6:53 p.m. tomorrow. All right. So like I would kind of go through that progression and try to say 6:53 like seriously 7 or 8 times, and like just because it will burn in the back of their brain. And then even right when we get off, all right, hey, super pumped to meet you tomorrow at 6:53 p.m. Right? So they're hearing it over and over and over and over and over again as well, kind of at the end after you guys book the appointment. Would you kind of add on anything to that, or any like?
One thing that I always really liked doing was asking them how they remember their appointments. So John, how do you normally remember things? Do you put it like on a paper calendar, Google Calendar? Like how do you kind of keep track of everything?
Yeah, Google Calendar for sure. I need my phone to remind me.
Okay. So as soon as we hang up, you're going to put me in your phone so you don't forget about me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Like that's a big one, right? Like for sure. But when we're asking for the traditional appointment, which is what we're talking about right now, right? We're asking for spouses together at a specific time. There's also a line that needs to be in your script. I don't care what script you're using, but when this line that I'm about to share with you is not used perfectly, my show rate goes down by 50%. I've had agents also use a variation of this line I'm about to share with you, and their show rate still went way down. So you want to say this next thing exactly as I'm going to tell you, and the very best place to insert it is right after they pick the time. So John, let's pretend like I pick 6:53, right?
You remembered the time.
I'd be like, okay, John, that's one of my last spots. Are you positive that this is going to work for you and Jessica together?
Yeah.
So there's 3 things that I just said there that are important. Number 1, last spot, the word positive, and the other word is together. Are you positive this will work for you and Jessica together? And then pause. And for some reason, doing it like that, like wakes the person up on the other end of the phone to take it serious. What ends up happening is they're going to probably say yes, but if they say anything else besides a yes, you want to call them on it. Like, yeah, looks good. If nothing comes up, oh yeah, it should work. Like those are not yeses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we used to say, like, if your boss said, I'm going to try to pay you tomorrow, or I should be able to pay you tomorrow, if nothing comes up, like, would you accept that as an answer?
No.
right? So it goes together, but it's that question. Are you positive this will work for you and your spouse together? And then listening for what we call weak answers. And if you clean those things up, repeating the time, and you don't sound desperate, like these people are going to show up,
Yeah, you're leading them to the appointment instead of begging for the appointment. Yep. So good,
And
buddy.
I would say one more thing that's so key, because you could book appointments the way we're talking about all day long, but if you book them for like a month from now, do you think they're going to show up?
No.
Sooner the better. Okay, if you can run the appointment same day, run it same day. If you got to run it tomorrow, okay, but like no more than 48 hours, okay? Like book them soon. Anything that's like beyond 48 hours is going to need a reminder call.
Yeah, and
Okay?
I think like I'm 100% with you. And I want to go back to one thing too. You said this is the last spot that I have. People can be like, oh, well, no, I got a bunch of spots, so I can't sell that. No, that is the last 653 time that you have available.
Yep.
Right. So like justify it in your brain that way when you're saying it, so you can say it with confidence, because you don't have any other 6:53 p.m.s available that day. Right. Number one. Number two, I love what you just did there too, is that I think that that's even generous, Mer. Like 48 hours is insane. Because I like personally, for somebody that's not as good as you are, if I'm not today or tomorrow, it is way downhill. And I would just rather not like waste the lead, waste the appointment, waste everything. I would so much rather be like, all right, listen, they have me scheduled to meet with you in the next 24 hours. What I'll do is I'll just go back and kind of notate that and then see if I can follow up with you at the beginning part of next week. Just because I realize that my show factor is absolutely drastic when we're kind of working in this digital realm and, on these leads.
Digital leads, like let's say the person was just on TikTok or Facebook or whatever. I won't even, okay, you want to book those people in 30 minutes to an hour if you can.
Right.
You don't even want to wait because their attention spans are 3 minutes on TikTok. That's all these guys can pay attention to, right? You wait 72 hours, they're going to forget they even did the darn thing, right? So a normal, traditional 2-person meeting appointment with both spouses, I think can go out, a day or two, but digital, when you're selling it right there, boom, it has to be like within an hour.
Love it.
If you want an 80% show rate, if you want a crappy, sucky show rate, then book it beyond that. That's fine.
That's sucky show factor. Awesome. Well, again, I knew that this was going to be a good one. There was no doubt in my mind, especially because we had the master with us in regard to show factor. So, Miranda, if they don't want to suck at sales, they need to subscribe. They need to click the button below. So let's get it, y'all.
Click.
Can't wait to see you guys next time. Awesome job, man.
Yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.